Hello, everybody. I hope you're well, and welcome to this new edition of GM Web3 dedicated to MultiversX every Wednesday at 9 UTC live on Twitter, X now, but also on YouTube and on Twitch. And I am very happy to be there again. Yesterday, I had a very, very interesting AMA with the CEO of Hatem after the launch of a USH. We will speak about it, of course, today. We'll also speak about the public, well, how can we say, rapprochement with Cardano and Charles. And we'll speak, of course, about the crypto reserve in the United States of America, which includes, from now on, Bitcoin, Ethereum, but also ADA from Cardano, XRP from Ripple, and Sol from Solana. So we'll speak about the opportunity to include these altcoins. So that's the program of today. I will receive my dear co-host, Arno. Hello, Arno. How are you?
Hello, GRM. Good. It's like we never leave each other.
Yeah, definitely. We were live together yesterday during the AMA with Ahmed from Atom. You don't have your famous background today, so you ducked your wall.
So, I moved places, and so no, I have, and I'm actually going to put a frame behind.
Okay.
You want me to show you the frame I'm going to put behind?
Yeah, sure. So
it's my life.
Show us.
All right.
I want you for an adventure. Nice. It's yeah, of course, from a long.
Oh, it will be like this. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Very cool. Very cool. That's what Benjamin told you a few years ago.
No.
he could. So, and welcome our guest of today, Philippe. Hello, Philippe. How are
Morning,
you?
everybody. How are you doing today? Nice to.
I'm good. You're talking like a soldier. Hey, Captain, what's up?
Well, man, what's up today? No, hey ho. No, I mean, well, good day. I mean, like a long week, a little tired. Would be nice to have a good discussion with you this morning. I mean, a lot
Definitely.
of subject to discuss, and yeah, I mean, like, thanks for the invitation again, and like your mustache.
Oh, thank you. As I said yesterday, actually, it's an accident. I shaved this by accident, and I said, okay, I remove everything, but I decided to keep the mustache. And yeah, people told me that it's okay. So for the moment,
It's nice. I like it.
keep it.
Fit
Yeah,
well.
you like it? Okay. You validate. So as I was saying, yes, we have three main topics today. So we'll speak about MultiversX, we'll speak about Cardano, and we'll speak about the crypto reserve in the United States of America. So it will be very interesting. Thank you guys for being here with me this morning. First of all, I'd like to thank the partner of this show. The first and the oldest, and yeah, it's Atom Protocol. Atom is a platform that lets you store your crypto safely and grow them through simple strategies that generate passive income. So recently, they launched the first native stablecoin on MultiversX, the USH, and it offers you incomparable returns at the moment. With some strategies, you can expect three-digit annual returns. We'll speak about the USH later today. I hosted an AMA yesterday with the CEO who answered all of the questions from me and from the community. So if you'd like to find out more, you can listen the replay of this AMA, and you can visit Atom Networks. It's listed in the description, of course, and you'll finally find your financial freedom. This is all that we want, Arno, correct?
Financial freedom is all we want.
That's why we are there.
I
We
mean,
try, at least we
it
try.
it is part of the crypto dream, to build your wealth and have your wealth work for you, and so you can focus on what you love doing the most. That's the dream.
This baseline, like financial freedom, it has two different aspects. Financial freedom allow you to do what you like to do. This is what you just say, and for this you need to have money enough to do what you want and what you like. But financial freedom is also with the states, with the different intermediaries, so you're free to use your money and without someone in the middle saying you can't.
Yeah.
Why do you want to spend that amount of money and so on? So this baseline has two very interesting and relevant aspects in the crypto world. Do you think?
Yeah, completely. I mean, blockchain technology has this power to cut all middlemen and make you fully in control of your assets. And so that's the first side of the Atom baseline. Helping you become financially free, because then you can start putting your money in the protocol. You have control over your funds. And the second aspect, you pinpointed it, is how your money can work for you and generate some additional income. And I also, the notion financial freedom, for too many people, I think they think it's just, okay, you have enough money and you don't do anything with your life. But financial freedom can be a recipe that is a bit different. You can have, I don't know, by adding 1,000 euros of passive income every month, it could completely change the way you live. You could, for most people, it is a lot of money, and achieving this is already something super cool. So everybody has her own definition of financial freedom, and yeah,
That's called freedom.
Yeah.
But I don't
Thank
know.
you, thank you, Arno. And we'll speak about the second sponsor of the show later. So first of all, if you guys agree, let's invite people who are listening or watching us to like, to comment, to subscribe to GM Web3 channels. Give us some strength, and it's important that the show is interactive. So feel free to ask all of your questions in the comment. We will share them. We'll try to answer them. So yeah, this show is not just for us, it's for you. So take the time, ask your questions, unfiltered, uncompromising. This is what we do on GM Web3. So let's speak, guys, to start about the crypto strategic reserve in the USA. We'll speak about MultiversX later, because unfortunately, EGLD is not in the crypto reserve.
Not yet.
Not yet.
The best for last. I mean, like.
So let's add some context, and after I will let you give me your opinion. So we'll speak about it deeply, if you agree, guys. But first, let's put on some context. We've known since last July that Donald Trump wants to create crypto reserve, strategic reserve with Bitcoin. It was the official and the initial willing of the next president at the moment. A few months after, he told about Ethereum, certainly pushed by his sons with Liberty Finance, the exchange backed by the whole Trump family. And so we knew that there will be Bitcoin, but also Ethereum. And a few days ago, we learned that they decided to add 3 more crypto. So Cardano, the ADA, Ripple with the XRP, and Solana with the SOL. So the three cryptocurrencies are all issued by American companies. So it's relevant with the America First. The United States of America will become the capital of crypto in the world, so on. So it's pretty relevant in this regard. But of course, it raises a lot of questions about the opportunity to add altcoins, commercial coins. Some people say shit coins, and this crypto strategic reserve. So, first of all, before we try to understand what are the risks and what are the opportunities of this reserve, do you have maybe a preliminary take on this? How you welcomed the news, Arno or Philippe?
I mean, I can say something really quick, I think, just to give my point of view. I mean, at the end, the decision, there is two ways, I think, to see it. So first of all, I think, is to just look at the coin market cap. You look at the 10 first crypto, and more or less all the Americans and Ethereum, Bitcoin are on the list. So, I mean, at the end, like you say, it's like America first. I mean, like, it's fine for that. But at the end, it's not even shocking. So that means that he took the 10 best crypto, took everything that is not stable and American, and add Bitcoin and Ethereum on top. So I think it's the approach that is the best from my point of view, that every more or less states should follow. That means that you support your own blockchain and you also support the technology and the reserves of value. On that, I think it's fine. What I'm trying to look at the moment, and I was trying to look at just before the meeting, just before the show, sorry, was to know if they invest, like if the different crypto like ADA, Solana, all these crypto invested in Trump campaign. And that I don't have the information, to be honest,
I
from the
have
amount.
them. I have all the information.
I mean, if you have, I'm willing to listen after, and that would be interesting to discuss that, I think, because I think it's just a support for the friends that help them on the stuff, added to the American thing. But
So,
I think it's fair. I think
okay,
it's fair.
I will answer this question after. Arno, yeah, basically, how did you welcome the news?
A bit mixed feelings about it, to be honest, because when you look at what our industry was supposed to become, like an update of internet, an infrastructure layer that aimed to be neutral, the fact that now it's becoming super political, especially when you don't just look at this news solely, but also look at what Trump is doing with the tariffs and the rest, everything is tied together. And the message here is those are American blockchains. And as Philippe says, what is going to happen is that you're going to have Europe looking for maybe European blockchain and China doing the same. And so we moved from this ideal of having neutral infrastructure for a new era of the internet. And this bears the question of, is this still possible after, you have states putting the stamp on the infrastructure? Will we see Chinese companies building on, I don't know, base? Will we see European companies getting, all the regulation if they build on blockchains that are in this US crypto strategic reserve? So this is the part where I have a bit mixed feelings. But it is also, of course, a massive sign of adoption of the technology we work on every day. It is a massive sign that this technology is here to stay and it is taken seriously. So yeah, it's every resource once it becomes adopted at a state level, then the game completely changes. It becomes then the resource enters the big game of like gold, oil, and this is what Bitcoin has entered a few years ago already, and now the rest of the blockchains maybe will enter it too.
Okay, yeah, you're right. This is pretty complex because there are so positive things and negative things. Let's maybe try to deep dive into the topic. First of all, I think we need to define what is strategic reserve, because maybe people don't know what is it, or they have just part of the definition. We all know gold, which is the strategic reserve that everybody knows. But maybe people don't know that the United States of America, for example, have strategic reserve of oil. They also have strategic reserve of cereals. So strategic reserve is a stock of an asset that could be in a crisis situation very needed. And so the state wants to have like a strategic stock of this asset. So this is the first part of the definition. And in that regard, Bitcoin can be a strategic reserve, a very relevant one, because the supply is capped. So at the moment, it could be interesting to have some Bitcoin in reserve. About Ethereum and the three other new altcoins, it's pretty much different, because it's not like a store of value. It's more like an utility token, an asset that can be useful to make a protocol work. ETH, ADA, XRP, Sol, they are built to make the blockchain work. Initially, if you remove all the speculation and additional utilities, but the original one is you need these cryptos to make the blockchain work. So is it something that can be strategic to own ETH? Because imagine if tomorrow Ethereum is so adopted all around the world and we don't have ETH enough to make it work. So it's interesting for the United States to have some to make it work. In my opinion, this is not something that can happen in the next few years. So yeah.
Go. Sorry, finish your sentence.
No, you know what? I'm asking the question. Do you think these four altcoins that were added to the strategic reserve were added because at a point during a crisis, for example, it could be needed to have some for their intrinsical utility? And after we'll see why maybe they decided to add them to the strategic reserve. Philippe.
Yeah, I see it maybe differently. So for me, for example, you take Bitcoin and Ethereum, they are considered exactly as you describe as a strategic reserve. I mean, in terms of security, in terms of ownership of the state, in terms of proof at what they own and the value. I mean, when you look at Fort Knox, for example, that have not been audited since almost 70 years, I mean, like that's a problematic that could rise in the coming weeks. But I think for me, if you look at XRP, Solana, and Cardano, it will be to deliver bond. I think they will use it as this way. They will print dollar and bond on chain, owned by American company, to have kind of control over it. I think that would be so. The strategic reserve, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the alts, if you want, for me, will be used as adding technology and created value and add liquidity from US.
Why ETH would be different as Solana, XRP, or Cardano? Why? Intrinsically, as the way the market sees it. I mean,
second on the market cap.
Bitcoin, no, because XRP is just like this to flip Ethereum. Check. It's not about market cap. Check their market cap. You will see it's like there is nothing between them. But Bitcoin is something different. Okay, because everybody sees it like the store of value, the like digital gold and so on. If, as far as I know,
It's
is a
DeFi. It's DeFi. So that means that if they inject dollar and they mint dollar there, they will be the dollar. And for example, the BRICS, if they want to raise another currency, or Europe with the euro, see, they want to have a dollar owned by the state, I think, not by
We'll speak
Reaper.
about this because okay, we'll speak. We'll come to this later. Arno,
Okay.
Yeah. When you look at ultimately, what's in a strategic reserve is an asset that has value. The fact that this asset also has utility
no,
has
sorry to interrupt, but if it was just this, the United States of America would have bought some Google shares or Apple shares because asset has value. So it's not just about being an
I,
asset and having a
I,
value.
yeah, no, it's
So far,
when what so in the past, in strategic reserves you had also salt, and salt was also at some point in time a way you could pay in salt. So the salt that you put in your food. So what I was about to say is that those assets have value and utility. When you say that, in a strategic reserve you can have, and you have oil, it is because it is both an asset that has value and utility. You can transform oil into many things, petrol. So what's interesting here, and we can look at it two ways, it is, first of all, this is a new asset class, digital assets, and they both have value and utility because they are the cornerstone to power the future of internet. So when the US is adding those type of assets to their strategic reserves, they're saying nothing less than, to us, Bitcoin, Ether, Sol, etc., are no different than oil, salt, cereals. They are an asset class that has utility and value, and we see them as an important asset class in the future. Are we
I
right? Are those the right players to back? Maybe
That's the
not,
question.
but those are the players that we have today, and so we are backing those today.
I think you're confusing the strategic reserve with a sovereign wealth fund. But this confusion is the continuation of our discussion.
You
Because,
already said that you had oil in strategic reserves.
yes, but why? Not because it has value, but because if in the countries that extract oil, they decide to limit the quantity of barrel and so on, the United States need to be sovereign, need to have this stock of oil to continue to live, to warm, to build things, and so on. So far, the strategic reserve was just to have a stock of an asset that could miss in a crisis situation. But what you say is interesting because with the addition of these new cryptocurrencies, which I doubt that at the moment for the next years it will miss in the market, the strategic reserve becomes a sovereign wealth fund like we have in the Qatar, in the Saudi Arabia, and so on. So my question is, and that's what is interesting, is it just patriotism? So the United States will help the crypto industry by investing, by granting, by buying some American cryptocurrency to support them, to bring to give them a legitimacy, fund, awareness, and so on. Okay, or is it like nepotism, conflict of interest, and so on? So that's the second part of the discussion, and I will just start by answering your question, Philippe, about did XRP, Solana, and Cardano invest in Trump campaign? XRP, yes. The CEO, the chairman, gave $9.9 million. Okay. No, you will see. It's nothing. But
I know. It's just like
it's a fact. It's a fact. Solana, we don't have information. So maybe. And if yes, it no more than $1 million. You know, Google gave 1 million, Amazon gave 1 million, Facebook gave 1 million. You know, every big player gives 1 million to the fund
a
when
tip.
the president. Yeah, it's a tip. Cardano, no information about that.
Okay.
So one of the three, yes, definitely. The two others, we don't have information. So it's not something big. But if you consider the total cost of Trump campaign, it's 1.09 billion of dollar. Okay. Technology and crypto, both, it's 273 million. So 25% ish. But Musk, American pack, is 243 million. Okay, so just 30 million is outside of the Musk pack. So maximum the crypto is 30 million.
It's nothing.
It's nothing. And one on the third, like un tiers, comment on dit? Un tiers, one,
A third.
ouais, a third is Ripple. So I think it's not, in my opinion, it's not something like, okay, you paid my campaign, so I owe you and I will add you as a strategic reserve. I think it's it's not worthy to do such a thing just for a few million. I think Donald Trump don't need this money, and so on. So that's maybe just a fact to give you some context. But I repeat my question: economical patriotism and a new way of a sovereign wealth fund, or nepotism, because you know his son is talking about crypto every day and so on, yeah? And maybe a conflict of interest, or so on. Maybe Philippe, now I answered your question.
I think it's a little of all of them, to be entirely honest with you. That mean, okay, so it's not about the financing of the campaign, definitely not. I mean, like when you have billions of dollars from people, they don't really care about 30 million. That's tips, like we say. But I think the way that we should see it also is like the regulation way that US is supporting these chains. So that means that tomorrow, if I'm an entrepreneur in US and I want to build in one of the chain, I know by using one of them, the regulation, the support from the government, maybe the traceability, maybe taxes wise, maybe all these different elements will be better than using any other chain. For example, I don't know, maybe he will put 25% taxes on people that invest or buy crypto on another blockchain with a MasterCard from US. I mean, I think he's following his policy in terms of pushing 100% the made in America. You want to push American company and other company to build on this technology. And I think in the coming months, we will see an approach and a strategy onto that. Either that, or it was just a tweet to support the few friends that he promised to make a support on their chain, and it just cost him a tweet. That's also something that is totally possible from Donald Trump, that he discussed during a meeting, say, yeah, I will support every American blockchain. And he received like some email from actors of the sector saying, guys, everything is crashing, Bitcoin is going down, we need your help to support the American ecosystem. He do a tweet, and then everything American take 20%. I'm not saying it's that, I'm just saying it's a possibility.
I will add one information, because what you say is it's not impossible. It would be weird that with the official X account of the president of the United States of America, Trump can like just tweet to thank friends. But you know what? Everything's possible. Just one thing. this strategic reserve must be voted by the Congress. So he has the majority in both chambers, so should not be difficult, but must be voted. So because it's not voted yet, so far it's just an announcement. There you're right, but this is not impossible that
I-
it happens.
If I can add one,
Yeah.
I forgot. Fuck. I forgot my point. Just continue. Sorry.
I wanted also maybe to add to the discussion to see if you know the exchange that I spoke before, World Liberty Finance, which is backed by the whole Trump family.
Mm.
I went to see because you know they are buying cryptos for weeks now. They bought a lot of Bitcoin, a lot of Ethereum, but they also bought altcoins. So I went to see if they bought the three cryptocurrencies that we are talking about because they have the information before others or they wanted to speculate about this news coming. It's not the case. They bought Aave, Link, TRX, INA, and Move, and Ethereum and Bitcoin, as I was saying. So even them, they officially, publicly did not speculate on that news. Also, I think you saw a few hours before the announcement, someone leveraged millions of dollars with Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't know
On a
if you saw this.
50 levels.
Yeah, 50 times. And it was a large amount of money, 200 millions or something like that. But it was around Bitcoin and Ethereum. So even him, he did not leverage on Solana, Cardano, and XRP. He should, because prices of these three pumped way more than Bitcoin and Ethereum. So maybe he knew that the strategic reserve would be officially announced, but in my opinion, he didn't know that the three altcoins would be included. Or maybe it was too big to invest in such. So maybe he knew, but he decided not to leverage this information. So with this, I think we have all the information so people can make their mind.
Okay.
Now, yeah, Philippe?
Yeah, one last thing I remember what I wanted to say, and I think that's probably the most important point that we should be looking at the moment. What would be the politic for creating this reserve? So that means, is the American government buying Bitcoin directly on market, or does he, for example, not sell what he sees? And maybe there will be a different approach depending on the crypto, but I think really the main point, and that will be the interesting point at the vote at the Congress, is like,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's the big why, because if you consider the amount of money of cryptocurrencies that the state, the Department of Justice have, it's pretty much nothing.
I
Like
know.
it's so I think if you want to create to build a strategic reserve, definitely it will not be just enough to keep the money that you seized with some justice thing. Just one thing also, you know, in the United States of America, the justice is federal. Okay, the strategic reserve is with the states. So you have the strategic reserve of the states,
I didn't know
it's the
that.
federal ones, but you have also state ones. So, and what I read a few hours ago is maybe the states will create their own strategic reserve with crypto before the state itself, because they are all considering doing this. But I think they will buy. It will not be on Binance. It will be OTC, I think. But I think they will buy the crypto to build this strategic reserve, noting that Trump only has 4 years to do so, and maybe 2 if we consider midterms. So
Yeah.
if he wants to build this strategic reserve with a amount of money, um, enough money to be competitive with China and so on, it will not be enough to count on the seas of the Department of Justice, in my opinion. So he will have to buy. definitely.
That would be an important point for me, because I have a hard time seeing the government of America making a vote at the Congress, because at the moment the vote is done, saying they will put a certain amount, people will buy and the price will go up. So I don't see the logic move behind. Let's see. I don't know what's his plan. Maybe they're already buying on the back. I don't know.
Arno?
There's one thing that everybody should have in mind in this game of resource accumulating. When you look at the resources that are important in the world, you have oil, of course. You have gold, that is, if I'm not mistaken, the biggest market cap asset is $12 trillion or something like that. And so in this great dance of nations, we clearly see that we are moving from an era where we had US as the superpower after the Second World War, and we are moving into an era where you have several blocks and several powers, and the new dominant power, economic power, is China. I think it's since 2012 or 2014, the balance of exchanges of China is bigger in value than if you additional imports and exports, it's bigger for China than the US, and it's growing. So there's a second thing too. It's when we came out of World War II, US had the biggest gold reserves in the world. And over time, it has changed, has shifted. I think, if I'm not mistaken, China now has the biggest gold reserves in the world. And I also know that China is the biggest creditor of the US debt.
Less
So,
and less, but yes.
less
There
and
are
less. Okay.
US bonds, but yes, they are still the first.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So when you look at things like this, you know that US for years, for example, has produced oil, but mainly they have imported cheap oil instead of tapping into their own reserves. And for example, if I'm not mistaken, in Alaska, the states have masses of oil reserves untapped, and they know this. So the question here is, okay, over time we have seen that new resources emerge and they have value. And in the new world that we're entering, the digitized world that is only accelerating, especially with AI, we are seeing new resources emerge. And for those nations not failing at understanding the new upcoming resources and starting accumulating before others is a strategic move. And what the US is doing right now, I see it as the first steps in nations understanding that in the digital world, on which potentially everything is built, or more and more things are built upon blockchains, the tokens of those chains are going to be resources, and therefore it is strategic to accumulate them right from the start.
What you say is very interesting, because it reminds me the topic of the rare earth, because it will lead us to another topic. So let's just make it short. But why Trump wants the war between Russia and Ukraine stops as soon as possible? Because he wants to stop funding this war. He wants Russia to become again an ally, because he doesn't want to be against China plus Russia. He cannot stand in front of both of them. And also because he wants the rare earth in Ukraine, and he already made a deal about that to extract some part of them with Russia. And remind me also what when Trump said that he wants Greenland. It's not something like just because he's a fool. Greenland is strategic because it's in the middle of the road. And in Greenland, you have rare earth. So what you say with digital um, assets, digital material that will be strategic for the future, it's the same for rare earth,
Yes.
because you need rare earth to build pretty much everything now, computers and so on.
Chips.
So I completely agree with you with this um, opinion. Just I'm still asking about Solana, Cardano, and XRP. I think it's more to make American crypto great than just accumulating
I mean,
strategic assets, in my opinion.
GRM,
But I can be
blockchain,
wrong.
the blockchain industry is like this. So if today Trump knows that he can just pour a little support to those blockchains that are American and make them the Googles, the Apples, the Amazon of tomorrow.
It's not strategic reserve. It's
Exactly.
investing. It's like when, for example, the government gave contract to Tesla, or the military department financed a lot of big GAFAM. So this is patriotism. And you know what? I agree with this 100%. We should do it, but it's something different as a strategic reserve, but it's okay. I think we just need to open the definition now, because Trump opened it, definitely. But
Yes.
we'll see, of course, because it's not voted yet, but we'll speak about it later. Thank you very much, guys, for this discussion. We spoke about Cardano. We will speak about Cardano now. I think you could not miss what happened on Twitter these last days between Charles, co-founder of Ethereum and founder of Cardano, Charles Hoskinson. I hope I pronounce his name well. He said very good things about MultiversX on Twitter, saying that the tech was good. That a few years ago with Benjamin, they could have released the Ethereum 2.0, so an evolution of Ethereum with scalability, security, and of course decentralization. So yeah, he said very good words. So the whole MultiversX community said, "Yeah, thank you very much, Charles." Charles, okay, it was cool. It's always kind. It's always great when someone else says good thing about MultiversX. We appreciate, and it's not the first time. Charles has always been kind to Minku's brothers and MultiversX community and technology. So it's not new, but it was pretty much strong on Twitter these last days. And when Charles said in 2018 we could have built the Ethereum 2.0 with Benjamin Minku, Benjamin Minku said, "Let's do it now." And Charles said, "Bro, we shipped our roadmaps. We have Cardano, you have MultiversX."
It's too late.
Well, there is different interpretation of this exchange. I have mine. I shared it. But I would like to have yours, first of all. And after, we'll try to figure out what would be the interest of both parts to work together, to be kind to each other, accept personal relationship, because you know what? I think this is not just a personal relationship. We are not in a world when people do things just because I like him, he's a kind guy. No, we all have interest, especially when you have the CEO of a blockchain and so on. But we'll speak about it if you agree. I think it can be very interesting. So who wants to start? Maybe first by the exchange the discussion between Benjamin and Charles. How did you understand this? I will share the messages so everybody can understand what it is. Who wants to start?
Go Arno. Honestly, I mean, I can start. Will be shorter. Okay, you know what? So I will give my point of view. I really like Cardano technology. It's really, I would say, similar than MultiversX in the vision, like to have interoperability, to have like subchain, if I can say, that can settle data on the mainnet. I mean, like there is really a lot of approaches, I think, that mix and fit perfectly with what you expect in blockchain in the future and for institutional adoption. So these two blockchain, honestly, are really capable, I think, to handle like what we expect to be blockchain in the coming years. That's definitely the case. And what I see that could be possible is like to mix the technology to have kind of two chains that can be fully interoperable, but with two different technology and the capacity to build like specific app chain on both on top of them, but still being capable to using each other ecosystem. Honestly, I think it would be really hard to implement. I don't know if you're already working on that, but it's something that could be done. So that means that they both ship their roadmaps, like they say, okay? But that doesn't mean that doesn't forbid the fact that the roadmap can be joining each other at the end in term of interoperability and building a solution together. Yeah, some typos also. I mean, like, but no. I think at the end, and that's what I'm advocating since always, and since really enforcing on that since 6 months, and on this show you saw it. I think most of the chain will die if they don't focus on interoperability with others. That means that a chain that just have one specific use case, public chain, I mean, that is just living on his corner with his own fees, with no settlement, with hard bridges to communicate with the rest of the ecosystem, for me, they will die. And what Cardano and MultiversX maybe are capable to do, because they have the technology to do it, will be to have a framework or an ecosystem that is interoperable between each of them. I mean, it's not the point, but for example, if you take the Sol protocol, that would be something that go perfectly on top of that to aggregate liquidity, transfer value, to optimize yield over the different DeFi protocol on the different chain, and app chain that will be built on top. So that will be my technical vision, but it will take years, I think. Or we're already working on it.
I have a question. Is it something that should be built at the protocol level? Or it should be built with like layer 0 or Acceler, the chains that are dedicated to interoperability that could join, that could bridge, that could make that ecosystems can work together, liquidity can be mutualized, and so on. Is it something that should come from protocol at the protocol level, or at dApp or layer level? Just a technical point of view.
The solution should come from a dApp and a project, but the infrastructure and the protocol should be capable to provide the solution and the SDK to do it. MultiversX is doing it with the sovereign chain, Lightspeed, whatever. They have an SDK that allows transaction and settlement of data between chain. Cardano have something similar, and I think what they need now is either a chain to make the link between each other or modify their protocol to be fully compatible. I mean, I don't, like you saw, there's no technical details about anything, but for me, that would be the vision.
Let's go back to the discussion between Charles and Ben. And you know what? If I'm asking to you, this is not because I want to be right. Of course, I would like to be wrong. Did Charles says to Benny, bro, you have a roadmap, keep your roadmap, it's important? Because you know what, I will be completely honest with you. When Ben said let's do it now, even Charles answered, I told myself, and I spoke with friends, I say, brother, we have a roadmap, and with a tweet, just with a tweet, you want to change it and to do something with Cardano, and you have so many things that you need to release, and on a tweet, just because Charles says good things about MultiversX, you tweet and you say, okay, let's do an Ethereum 2.0 with Cardano. This is how I read, and I said, no, don't do this. And when Charles said something, in my opinion, mature and relevant for a founder of a blockchain, saying, brother, we have our roadmap, let's keep our roadmap and so on. So this is how I read, but because, guys, sometimes I have a bias of maybe I interpret in a bad way. I want to have your opinion. Please tell me I'm wrong.
I will leave Arno talk after. Just last thing. The thing is, like, it's already in their roadmap. So that means that MultiversX and Cardano both are on their roadmap to be interoperable, just not yet. And I think what Benjamin wanted to do is, like, let's do it now. Let's take the interoperability part and the common framework on us and do it now instead of 2026, 2027,
Right.
because it's happening now. And
So,
I saw it
example,
like that. Maybe I'm wrong. That's why I got it on my part.
So, for example, if I make a step to you, for example, this is for example, when he announced that sovereign chain can be built on any chain, Solana, Bitcoin, and so on, and Cardano could be one of them. This is what he wanted to say in a way, maybe.
I think so, yeah. That's how I see it. Again, I mean, I don't see Cardano turning off their chain, going full sovereign chain on MultiversX. I don't see it like that, let's be fair. But that both of them create a solution to be interoperable, that makes
What
full
would
sense.
be, well, okay, let's keep the question, what would be the interest for later? Okay, for the moment, let's maybe try to understand what Benjamin wanted to say and what could be the work together. And after we'll speak about the interest of each of them. Arno, what do you think about that? I see you thinking about, but I know it's a very interesting topic, really, to try to understand how the CEO is thinking, how is tweeting, but more of that, how he acts with the other leaders of the industry. What do you think? Please be optimistic for me.
So, what's interesting here is to understand what's really happening behind the curtains, because what is happening on X, let's be honest, it's pure show. I mean, it's not like a year ago when we didn't even know that Benjamin Minku and Charles Hoskinson had a conversation or whatever. So, it's not like when Benny makes an open approach to Musk on X, 95% chances that they never even talked. So this is like pure, outreach. Like I throw a message in a bottle and I throw it in the sea. Here, we know, unless AI has become very good, we know they had dinner. We saw that at this dinner, there was Benny, Lucian, and Danny Serb, meaning all the key people to have serious conversations. So whatever comes out of this dinner, whether it's short-term, mid-term, long-term, collaboration, or whatever, it is going to remain a secret for now. So everything that transpires on X is pure show, nothing else. So Benjamin, when he says, let's do it now, is most likely, this is how I read it, it is most likely a part that there is in this message, most likely part of what has been agreed in this dinner. So
Benjamin wanted to leak something, and Charles, no.
Benjamin, after this dinner, is not going to say something that goes completely against what was said in this dinner, or he's not going to tease something that has been not agreed in this dinner. So this is why Philippe's take on how MultiversX and Cardano could actually collaborate, because this is a very tribalistic place, and Charles Hoskinson is one of the leaders of this space. He's been there since the beginning. He's not going to give up Cardano. So what's the interest? Where does both dotted lines connect? MultiversX, Cardano connect in a place that makes sense, that brings opportunity for both ecosystems, for both networks. This is where I agree there is an interplay with the sovereign chain, because you could have a place where both projects could interact with every network, both networks. And that is an interesting project. And I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much, because first of all, for my peace of mind, I don't want to do it anymore.
Do you like Cardano, guys? Is it an ecosystem that you know, or that you maybe dig a little bit, or is there any technical or anything that is interesting in Cardano at the moment?
Just from a technical point of view, I mean, honestly, I hesitated to go either Cardano or MultiversX. Their both technology are really similar. I prefer MultiversX at the end, or I dive more into it. So I mean, definitely. But Cardano are really a powerful tech, I think. They have strong people. They have a good ecosystem based in US. They have the support of their government. And the thing is, like, at my point at the moment, does Cardano want to settle on a sovereign chain from MultiversX, or MultiversX will settle on a subchain from Cardano, or something in between? But in terms of technology, I mean, they are really competitive. One have more VC, definitely. Cardano have more VC than MultiversX. But from a technical point of view, I mean, for me, they are really similar. But I'm not using Cardano that much, to be honest.
Because you are an expert in DeFi, did you dig a little bit on DeFi ecosystem in Cardano? Because I did a little bit, wanted to find some metrics, and it's not huge. You know, you have $300 million TVL, you have $3 million exchange, daily volume exchange, 3 million. And yeah, you have 100,000 users, but it doesn't mean anything. You know, it's just wallet. So I don't know if we can speak about unique.
And it's not active addresses.
Yeah, it's users, daily users. Anyway, so it's not huge. The DeFi thing is not huge.
You said they have 100K daily active addresses?
I'll check again.
That would be very strange, because it means it would be more than Avalanche. I would be very surprised. But to your point, so I can double down while you're looking for the data on DeFi. DeFi on Cardano is it's not one of the powerful scenes. It is very similar to MultiversX. They have a wee bit more. They have a few more protocols that have that have liquidity. But to be fair, the Cardano Foundation, Cardano blockchain being valued, how much are they valued right now? Cardano, ADA, 34 billion. So, similar to MultiversX Foundation depositing liquidity in Atom, for example. The thing is, MultiversX today, let's have a look.
600 million.
In the
600 million.
I found some data from 2022 and 2023. It's the latest I can find, and they're between 60,000 and 100,000.
Go on Artemis. You have all those data live.
Okay.
You can compare all blockchains, all user base.
Daily active user.
they never talk about daily active users because we all know that it's strange. It doesn't, but it's
Address.
daily active addresses.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So if you can find the
Yeah,
metric.
I can go have a look. But ultimately, Cardano is a big name, but it is not one of the most hottest ecosystems right now. And to be fair, MultiversX is not either. You know, it's not like one of the trending ecosystems.
Yeah, but
So
we're not a big name, but proportionally we look better in terms of DeFi, for example. No.
yes, 100%.
So if we want to be fair, I'm sorry, but we have like 200 million in TVL, something like that. No.
Yeah, around that.
6 around, so it's a little bit. It's less than Cardano, but look at the market cap. Look at
Yes.
the history. So if we want to be fair, what is so that's why I am asking now what would be the interest of both parts. Both parts, sorry. So we have MultiversX, which is not a big name. We don't have big VCs around us. We don't have maybe so far the listening to the important and key actors in the United States, and so on. This is what Cardano can maybe help us to
Yes.
get. And Cardano, what can be interesting for him on MultiversX? Technology, it would be serious if Charles considers that MultiversX has anything to bring in terms of technology, because he has been researching the best technology ever for years. So technology, I don't think so. In his mind, I mean. Okay. Users, well, maybe some French or Romanians. Okay. TVL. Why Atom is not part of the discussion? If so, now when you speak
Maybe they
about
are.
MultiversX, you cannot speak without Atom. No.
No, but I mean it's different topics. It's like you say, you know, Trump is starting or any president is starting a diplomatic discussion with a foreign leader of another country, and for right from the first conversation, he's bringing all his biggest companies, etc. It's in the second time, you know, later on.
Okay.
But I mean, we didn't invent the wheel. I mean, you go on the biggest TVL protocol on Cardano is a lending protocol. So, you know, they don't need Atom. They already have their Atom.
Okay. So what can be, this is my open question. This is just speculation, but what do you think is interesting on MultiversX that motivate Charles to say good things, to want to dinner, maybe to open the door to a potential partnership or whatever?
I mean, if I may add something, I mean, I think the problematic right now, and we all feel it. If you start to use multiple chain, you have the bridge, you have to go through SEX. I mean, it's a real nightmare. And I think what he see between Cardano and MultiversX is the capacity to connect them. So that means that you have one DApp. You can decide to put your TVL somewhere. You can connect with the same wallet. You can run transaction on one and another directly. And I think at the moment they are the two best technology to do that, and they can achieve it. But again, it's not in their roadmap, and I think that's what's transpired from the tweet. So that means that they discuss the possibility. They know it's possible. The question is like, how do you insert that narrative in both roadmaps? I think at this point is that, because just think tomorrow, if you have a news saying, hey, you can just connect with X Portal, or you take even the Cardano wallet, and in fact, you can connect to MultiversX. And same on the other direction. I can connect with Cardano with X Portal. I can, it's already the case more or less, huh? But directly on any dApp, I can use it. It's compatible. I can transfer funds without using bridges, without using a third party that is off chain. I think that would be a big revolution in the ecosystem. And then you can see other projects saying, oh, we want the same. And then the question is like, they will either build all their solution, transfer all their dApp into Cardano or MultiversX technology. And so that's allow after that to bring more value on a unified ecosystem and stops the broken chain.
Do you think MultiversX users want to explore Cardano and inversely?
They need to. I mean, the future of blockchain, you need to have interoperable blockchain. I think nobody can say, oh, I still want to have 500 wallet. I still want to use bridges. I think that should disappear. And this vision will come when two blockchain will be capable to be
Tell
fully
us,
interoperable.
guys, tell us in the comment if you want to explore Cardano. Yeah, Arno, last take before
Yeah, you
the...
know, I'm just on the data point. I am on.
Yeah.
You want me to share my screen or not, so I can show
Uh,
you? I can tell you.
Yeah, tell.
Yeah. So on average, if you look at the last since December, MultiversX has more daily active users, daily active addresses than Cardano, in average.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Okay.
And it's fun to see that, you know, MultiversX with its daily active addresses plays in the leagues of change that are value way higher. So it's always we come back to this notion of arbitrage, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Let's now speak about the second sponsor of GM Web3 and about the prize that you can win during this. So give me just a minute. It's okay. They are offering $30 to winners. Well, okay. Let's go up. Okay. Good luck. Okay. Let's do this. Yeah. So would like to thank the second sponsor of GM Web3. It's EAPS. EAPS is one of the oldest, one of the biggest NFT project on MultiversX. They've been there for years now, and they are launching a new collection of NFT on Solana to try to explore this new ecosystem, to make it bigger, to build some bridges between communities. And yeah, thank you very much, EAPS, for your support with this. I hope we'll receive Mercy on GM Web3 soon, so he can tell us what's his plan for this new horizons for the project. Unfortunately, he lives in Canada, so the time zone is not very good to come in the morning on GM Web3. But we'll do something soon with him when he's ready to talk about his strategy on Solana. So thank you very much, and of course you can find their useful links on description of the YouTube and podcast description. So let's now speak, and you can earn $30, so $15 to two winners by retweeting the link of this post and by commenting. And the two best comment, I don't know, the funniest or the best comment will be chosen to win. Let's speak now about the launch of the USH. We'll have a two-part discussion, guys. First, about the setback of the MultiversX blockchain. We'll try to understand what happened. And the second part will be about the depeg and the repegging process of the USH that is still ongoing at the moment. I haven't checked this morning, but I think it's not $1 yet.
Can we add a third part on the actual effect of USH on the ecosystem?
What do you mean?
The TVL of the different protocols, the
Oh
chain
yeah,
activity.
definitely. We'll add some context about the how the launch is was made, and so how many token, the commitment of the community to build the liquidity and so on. Yes, of course. We'll start by this. You know what? You can start by this if you
Okay.
agree. This is
Yeah,
something
sure.
that's
Then to make it very clear,
Yeah.
I will share my screen and I will show you in the
Yeah.
different protocols the
Okay.
impact. They all have data dashboards, so
Let's go.
very easy. All right. Do you see my screen?
Now, yes.
Yes.
Okay, brilliant.
I see your seed fries.
Yeah, brilliant. So here I am on the MultiversX Explorer. So we are in the last 30 days. On average, we see total transactions around 200, 250K, between 200 and 250K. We have a few spikes here and there. We go up to the 2nd of March, and this is before on the 3rd of March. So that was on Monday. Boom. Instantly, 3rd of March, we see a clear impact. Total transactions skyrocketing 3x. This is then yesterday. Today we are the 5th of March. Yesterday we are at, so this was the launch. So it was expected to peak. But then we look at yesterday's transactions. We are still 2x above the previous ones. So here we have a clear idea of impact of USH in the way it can add activity, transaction volumes to the chain. And this is great because over time, this is just the beginning, but over time, those new products, they're not just tokens. It's a token that actually has a potential ton of use cases, ton of integrations in different protocols. So it is going to create more and more activity over time. But we can see right from the start, there is a big improvement. If we look at the total transactions, it's relatively the same here. Most used applications, this is today. We see USH, the isolated pool being positioned. The most transacted tokens, we see USH being third. So this is interesting. It was a token that didn't exist 2 days ago, and now it is one of top 3 tokens, and it's been like that since its launch. So that's very positive. Now, that's beautiful, JRM. Now here we are on AshSwap. So AshSwap, second biggest DEX on MultiversX. We can see at their TVL over the last months. 3 million, 3.6 million. And this is day prior to launch, 4 million. Launch date, boom, 50% TVL added. 50% TVL. I mean, just those are insane
Calm
numbers.
down, Arno. Calm down. You're getting excited too much.
I am. And this is not decreasing. Look, now it's here. It's
Can you
because
increase the timeline in a week or months just to see? Yeah, after that, the market also.
yeah, that's the market impact basically. But this here, it's at same market value here.
Yeah.
But here we have the creation of the LPs, USH USDC, USH USDT, USH Ash. Look at the volume, the total volume made by AshSwap. Look, over the last few months, 200K, And there, the day before, 400K, and just boom, first day, 4 million, second day, 3.7 million. Already today, 1 million.
I bought this morning, sorry.
It's insane. Just we're at the start of the day, it's already 10x, almost 10x the previous days. Look at the volume of the Ashwap aggregator, which is the most used aggregator on MultiversX. Daily volume around, it's oscillating between 300K and 1 million. Boom, 3 million. Boom, 2.4 million. Already today, 626. Then we go on X Exchange. X Exchange, it's the same. Here's the TVL. So X Exchange has more TVL, but this was the day prior to the launch, the days prior to the launch. Liquidity starting depositing, already a plus 14%. Then on top of this plus 14% on launch day, a plus almost 40%. So we went from 19.3 million to 25 million, 26 million. We can see also the volumes, same. Second, boom. It's almost a 3x. It's insane. So we see it. This is just day 1, 2, 3 of USH. This is what we've been talking about and hoping for. Adoption and then increase of use. And then, of course, if we go on Atom and we see at the USH dashboard, it's pretty cool. I mean, look at the liquidity in those pools. USH GLD, $4.12 million dollars valuation in this pool. USH USDC, 2.36 million. I mean, those pools, this has been created by players of the ecosystem and users of the ecosystem who brought liquidity. And the cool part is that now the APYs are starting to look normal. But look, this is just potentially what you can get on Atom. On top of this, you would have trading rewards on Ashwap, farm rewards on Ashwap that are over. If I looked on Ashwap and we go and see farm rewards for USH, USDC, there's an additional 5% rewards. So it is somewhere in the realm of 60 to 65% APY. It's a stablecoin LP. It's insane. So that's super cool. And if we look then at the state of USH, so here we are in the Atom protocol and the dedicated data page for you to see the different USH lending the facilitators. You can see up there that you have 34.7 million assets that has been provided to collateralize USH. When you think that the current TVL of MultiversX is close to $200 million, it means that just USH in 3 days has captured almost 15% of TVL of MultiversX. It's so cool. And the USH minted 6.5 million. So I think if we look on chain, if I'm back in the Explorer, we can see that USDC has circulating supply 10 million. And yeah, it seems that USH has already more liquidity than USDT.
No, 6 million here.
Here?
Nah, you're there.
I'm there.
Just
no.
2 lines.
Yeah, no, I know USH is here.
Okay,
I'm looking for USDT. Where is our good friend USDT? USDT is here, 1.3 million. So USH has way more liquidity than USDT on MultiversX after 3 days. And it's already, getting close to USDC on chain. So this is just after 3 days. It's brilliant to see. If we want to talk a bit about the PEG GRM, we saw the PEG
First,
going down to 0.95, which was in our scenarios expected. We had a
Arno,
5%.
can you hear me?
Sorry?
Arno, can you hear me? Yeah. Thank you for this overview of the impact of USH on the whole like DeFi metrics and not just metrics but also use on MultiversX. Thank you very much. First, I would like to come back to what happened on the chain because so many things has been said. It was congested, not congested. Block were created, but problems. API. You know what? It was very difficult. I'm still waiting for a full report from MultiversX core team. I know that they found the problems, that they're at the moment fixing the problems. Even Ahmed yesterday during the AMA told us how the MultiversX team was reactive to try to fix what was happening. But so people understand what happened exactly. I wanted to start by this. So, Philippe, maybe I ask you to explain us what happened with the block, with the fee, with all of the things.
Okay. So
Thank you.
I'll try to not be too technical, and I'm sorry in advance if I forget some details. So please in the comment if I say something wrong or I forget something, just shoot. For my understanding, first of all, the chain holds. So that means that the blockchain didn't turn off. They have not been shut down. They have not been blocked of the blockchain. So the blockchain worked as expected. The problematic that have been seen was about like some bots that was submitting transaction with a lot of gas. So, and it's the same everywhere. I mean, we like it, we don't like it. The more you pay, the faster your transaction go. Right now, there is not a real security system. So that means that people cannot, like, if you go on MetaMask, you can, for example, boost your transaction. You can choose slow, normal, fast, and then the stuff goes. So you have this granularity in terms of how fast you want your transaction to go. On MultiversX, they did it like more user friendly, I would say. So they make it transparent. People don't care about these things. Your transaction goes. What happened during the launch of USH is like, when we saw there was like 4-digit API at the beginning, I mean, I was like, okay, I will just wait a little because that seems like a lot of movement on the price and on the TVL and on the APY. So there was a lot of arbitration happening really fast, continuously. Every time when someone was pushing a transaction, the transaction was passing. There was a bot that was identifying an arbitrage opportunity, throwing a transaction really fast, changing the balance on a smart contract. Then transaction that was arriving after had a little issue to get with the right ratios, the right numbers, and sometimes get refused because the state of the smart contract changed in the middle. But from my point of view, I mean, I minted some USH, not so much, to be honest. I didn't have any issue at all. So maybe I was lucky. I'm not even sure if I'm on shard 1, to be entirely honest with you, with the wallet I used, and I didn't get any issue. So maybe I just get in the middle when no one was really submitting something. But I can imagine that if someone was minting 100K, 50K at once, all the arbitrage bot will throw a lot of transaction with a lot of gas fees and everything else will have been blocked. So I don't know what have been the feeling. I saw a lot of comments, people saying it's not holding the charge. At the end, what's happening, you have bots that throw a lot of fees, a lot of gas, in the transaction, booking a big part of the block, in fact, and not other transaction was going in. there is already, and knowing MultiversX team, I think they will arrive with a fix quite fast. I think they already have something in mind regarding that. I'm not sure exactly how they will resolve this issue, but the idea would be to maybe create more randomization in the choice of the transaction. But that could be also a problem, because maybe Arno, you can answer that. But I guess Atom is also part of the smart contract using high fees, high gas, to get their transaction going on, and that's normal. I mean, it's totally fair that at the end, if you want to act on your contract, but you want to change the price, you want to adapt the TVL, reduce the risk, you need to be capable to do that. So this mechanic is nice. I think the only problem right now is like we should have waited for the sub-second resolution, and if we had that, I think it would have been entirely smooth. But from my point of view, it was not a fail. That means that we reach a problematic. The problematic will be fixed. It's not a terrible one. The blockchain hold properly, so they have no big downtime, they have no big loss of packet, they have no big loss of anything like that. Just some transaction arriving after arbitration. I don't know if I can make a little clearer, but from my point of view, I mean, it was a success from the launch. A lot of users, a lot of liquidity going, a lot of bots going around. They are still there making their arbitrage. And I think that also bring a lot of actors. Maybe you have the answer, Arno, but do you know if it's only MultiversX actors that are doing arbitrage, or you had also new actors that just joined the show just for the launch of USH?
Welcome to them.
I mean, welcome to them. I mean, like, they get fees out of that, they get some elements, so it's fine for them. The question is like, do they stay after the launch to continue to create transaction, to create value, to extract also value? That's their job, huh? Or they were just here temporarily. Yeah, no, that's why I saw a lot of, not a lot to be honest, the usual guy on Twitter bashing MultiversX. So we saw them all, but at the end, I think that just bring the question of how to manage your fees, how to manage the priority. I mean, on Ethereum, we don't want also, I mean, it's something that you see on Ethereum a lot. I mean, that means that if you put a 30K, you're okay putting €100 just to make your transaction going immediately. When you want to put €100, you don't want to pay €1 of fees, because that's just 10% of your, or 1% of your value.
We'll try to figure out what happened, maybe point by point, just to be sure that everybody understood after your very good and very good overview. First of all, we can mention that on MultiversX, especially on Exportal and maybe on the front end of Atom, it's not possible for users to adjust the quantity of gas they want to spend, but it is possible at the protocol level to do so. So,
You
but
can do it on the DeFi wallet.
Okay, but I was speaking about Exportal and Atom.
Yeah, but then you said you can do it at protocol level, so it's not entirely true. You can do it on the DeFi wallet.
On the DeFi wallet, it's possible. Okay, so the thing is, the bots could easily adjust the fees, so the gas fee, so they can put like overestimated amount of fee, so they are sure their transaction are pass are prioritized. Okay, and random users like you and me using Exportal or directly the Atom front end did not think about adjusting the fee because it was not displayed.
You can, huh?
Yeah, they can, but it was not like clear on Exportal. It's not possible. On some modules, it's not possible either. So okay, so this I understand well this point.
I mean, you can easily, I mean, because you can change the gas, that's not a problem. What Atom could do, or Xportal can do immediately, would be to add a functionality like on MetaMask.
Okay.
Fast, normal, fast.
This is the solution, and I am sure that Lucian and the whole dev team are working on this. Even Robert confirmed this is something that is missing, and they are working on this. So about the solution and about the reaction of the MultiversX core team and Atom core team, because we'll see because maybe there were some problem on the front end and the microservice, but we'll speak about it later. They are all working on the solutions, so no problem. We just want, like a report to understand what happened, to prevent fake news or interpretation or bad analysis of the situation. You see what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, I saw a lot of things on Twitter the last days. I mean,
That's why. So that's why. Also, the bots tried to arbitrage some pools that were not open yet. So they flooded the main pool. Okay. And so that's why the network, we can say, was congested. Did you notice this too?
I mean, it's another problem of MultiversX is like you have too many things on the first shard. I mean, like we are waiting for the multi-shard solution. I mean, X exchange and all these things should become multi-shard. We hear about that a lot. I think they run into some issues, definitely. Or maybe they wait to get something that is unified with sovereign chain to have the same solution that can be used between shards.
The issue with DeFi is that with DeFi, it's hard to have asynchronous. You can't have asynchronous in DeFi. So if you have the part of the protocol that is somewhere and somewhere else, and they're working asynchronously, it doesn't work. So that's why DeFi is mainly and maybe solely in the shard one on MultiversX, and it is most likely a challenge for the future. But yeah, sorry to interrupt you. Just
no, it could be interesting to add a functionality that, for example, on the shard one, it costs you a little more than on shard two. So that means that tomorrow, if I want to start to release a dApp or release a new application, I can read it on a shard one, but there is more fees than on the. I don't know. I don't know. We need to find an incentive that is organically viable over the long time, and that is not something that destroy the user experience, I think. And I think, for example, if I want to start a video game whatsoever, so either I make my own sovereign chain, blah, 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 that's complex, but I can decide to deploy on shard one, shard two, and by doing that, in fact, I will pay less fees. So shard zero, shard two, I will pay less fees. So my user will pay less fees, and I'm filling the blocks of another shard. And I think we should create an incentive like that. Like you say, that we have DeFi that is synchronous on the shard one, optimized there, everything is there, all the data in shard, blah, blah, blah. But for example, for an application like Globis, Cowat, like all these things that don't need to have a direct access fast to DeFi, they could be deployed on a different shard that costs less fee. That could be an interesting mechanism, I think.
Yeah, but I think the incentive is already there, but it's not enough. I mean, normally people should choose between shard 1, 2, 3, according to the latency, the scalability, and so on. But you know what? Every dApps builder is choosing shard 1, okay? And every user don't choose, so it's random. But when they try to do something on shard 1, when they are on shard 2, they will, I don't know, like create a new wallet hoping to be on shard 1. That's what happened actually at the moment.
I think again here we need to, of course, what has happened during USH launch is a good opportunity to learn and to improve the foundation. By meaning the foundation, I mean the technical foundation for all of us. But I mean, nothing important, critical has occurred. We saw actors behaving in ways that congested the network, and especially shard 1, because of two things. First of all, you have bad actors who tried to clog.
Okay, Arno, I'm sorry. I really would like to, because you need to leave in 25 minutes and we need to speak about the peg and repeg. So first, I would like to just continue the different points so everybody understand what's happening and what are
Okay.
the solution. Sorry, but you told me noon, so I need to adapt of this. So what about the local fee markets and the gas station for all apps? This is something that MultiversX is building at the moment to answer the problems that happened for the USH launch. You consider Philippe, as a builder, and maybe Arno too. This is the right solution at the moment.
It's a mix between the reduction of the finality. So I mean, if you get in a sub-second transaction between shard, I mean, like the problematic will kind of from I mean, we have to test it. I mean, again, I'm not, but in theory, if you get the sub-second the inter shard transaction in the sub-second point, nobody will care anymore. I think it's just DeFi that really need to be fast. That really need to be optimized to reduce risk, and that's where the shard one could make sense for DeFi. I will wait for the release to be judge of that. I mean, theoretically, it should work. It should not be an issue. You're muted.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, thank you. And last but not least, there were problems with the front end and microservice on Atom's side. So yesterday I spoke with Ahmed about this. He told me that it was mostly because the network was congested, and so there was a latency between the transaction is passed and between and the time that it's approved. And so the front end showed transaction failed, but actually it was not failed. But this is also something that Atom is working to solve, and maybe it's already solved at the moment. But this is something that also happened. If we want to have a full report, technical report about what happened yesterday. Do you have anything to add on this part, or we can move to the peg, repeg, depeg thing of Atom, because many things has been written on Twitter about this too. So it's the opportunity for us to explain to the community what happened. Was it expected, and is it serious? Yes, Arno?
Just to conclude on the previous topic,
Sure.
the launch overall was really positive. There was no critical problem. The actual congestion lasted for 1 hour, 1.5, 1.3 hours, but 2 hours after the launch, things were back to normal. And today, if you use the different components, they're working well. So there was also the incentive, the economic incentive. The APYs were so high because there was rewards and liquidity rewards for the start, and so people wanted to capture those. Bots wanted to capture those. Bots wanted to arbitrage because it was the creation of the opening of the LPs, the minting everywhere. So it was bound to happen that there was going to be a peak of activity, and it was 1 hour and a half of not cool experience, and after it was okay. So I'm not saying that it's not important to learn from those to make the future experience better, and we definitely should do that. But I mean, we could have way worse scenarios happen. So overall, it's good.
Yes. So let's speak about the price of the USH. So let's remind everyone what is a stable coin. It's a coin which is which the price is supposed to be related to an asset. And in this example, USH is backed is related to the dollar, so it's supposed to be worth $1. So now it's 0 1.90, maybe 7. I don't have the precise price, but it's not exactly $1. So many people spoke about it. So we'll try to understand why the price is not $1. Was it expected by the Atom team? What is the strategy to make that USH is worth $1 or the closest possible? And so please, who wants to start? 1.98. So it's it's closer and closer to $1. So Arno, maybe
I could first start by saying that USH has two mechanisms to help it restore its peg. I'm going to make this very easy so that everybody can understand this one. There is a soft peg mechanism that is basically, Jerem, can you mute yourself, please? Thanks. There is a soft peg mechanism that is always active. And this is the arbitrage. So basically, on Atom, USH is always worth $1. So if in the market USH is above $1 or under $1, you can then act with it. If it's above $1, you can mint USH on Atom at 1 and sell it instantly for a profit on the markets. And this will add more USH to the markets and it will lower the price if USH is above $1. If it's under $1, you can then buy USH in the open markets and repay your USH mint for a profit. And it reduces the supply of USH and therefore makes it go back up to $1. So this is the arbitrage system and it's always active. We call it the soft peg mechanism because it is a gentle way to repeg USH, and it is to the market to do that. The second one is a bit more complex, so I'm not going to overcomplexify it. It's called redemption. So basically, the redemption mechanism is there triggered when USH price reaches a certain price. But this system basically always tracks the USH price in two different time frames, one at 20 minutes ago and one at 5 minutes ago. If those two prices are underneath the threshold to trigger the redemption mechanism, then the redemption mechanism opens. So to make it easy, redemption mechanism, anybody can come whenever it is triggered. Anybody can come to Atom protocol with EGLD and put EGLD in a smart contract, and the system will automatically buy back USH with the EGLD, repay some users that have not been liquidated yet. It will repay their USH debt, and it will do it for a profit, and it will distribute part of the profit to the redemptor and part of the profit to the user that has been redeemed.
I shared in the comment a post that David Crypto just posted about redemptions. So if you want to know more, feel free to go and read this post. Let's go back, if you want, to the USH launch and the progress of the price of the USH. First of all, was it planned that the USH is not worth $1 immediately? That's the first question that we want to answer. Was it planned, or is it an accident or a problem? That's the first question.
It was planned. There is no stablecoin launch where a stablecoin is worth $1 at the start.
I mean,
it was planned.
Yeah, so much have been minted, they need to go somewhere.
Yeah. So this is why at the start, we didn't activate the redemption mechanism. And we left the market. I mean, all the liquidity pools were being created. You had users adding liquidity in those liquidity pools. So the market, the USH market, was being created. So we had in our plan to let the USH market get created, and then once it starts to stabilize, activate the redemption mode. And the redemption mode would not be high right from the start. We would start at a certain price and then bring it up. And this is what is happening now. Hello, Davey.
Hey, Davey.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
We were just talking about you. I just shared your post about redemptions so people can understand better what is it, how does it work, and so on. So I don't know if you listened to the show before, but we were talking about the peg process of the USH that is still ongoing, and we wanted to understand what happened. And Arno just told us that it was planned. It was normal. It was typical that at the launch, the stablecoin is not worth $1 immediately because of the volatility, because the market must do his thing. And forcing the peg to $1 would have been maybe a mistake. Maybe you want to add something about this?
Yeah, like I think the goal is to build a foundation for USH with enough liquidity for it to be used by the entire community. The problem at launch, and so is the reason why it was difficult to keep the peg, and also probably bad strategic decision to place redemptions at start, is that there were a lot of dynamics in play. So there were a lot of incentives that were going into Atom. There were a lot of incentives also in the other DEXs, so Exchange and Ashwap, so to create the liquidity. And also there were a lot of users that were taking advantage of USH. So for example, minting USH, swapping to stables. Also, for example, I don't know, borrowing stables in order to create LPs. And so being too strict at the beginning would have placed too much restrictions and being too much penalizing for users at the start. And so I think it was a good decision. Like also, in my opinion, it was a great decision, and also something that they've been planned for months. So when people ask why things can take that much, is because you need to strategize, you need to see all the possible scenarios, and this is what was in plan. So if you look at a lot of other stable coins, it's normal at the beginning that there is this much volatility. The goal is in the long term to create a really stable dynamic and a stable coin.
Okay, very clear. Is there anything you want to add about the process to make USH $1? Are you monitoring it daily, or I don't know if the threshold to the redemption threshold is being monitored manually every hour, every I don't know. So what's happening in backstage at Hatom? If you can share with us.
Can you repeat your question? Sorry, Jerem.
Yeah, the threshold of the redemption process, to make USH $1, is it monitored like I don't know, every minute, every hour? Is there someone all the time in front of a computer watching the market to be sure that it's well done, or is it something that is planned in advance and it's monitoring itself?
So the redemption threshold, is in the system. So it is set manually, but it is in the system. So once it's the price, as I explained, the price is confirmed between the two time moving averages, minus 20 minutes, minus 5 minutes, it is triggered. So, but now we are in a situation that we're still in the early phase of USH. So the redemption threshold is getting increased over time, close to 1, so that we can then have it as close as possible to 1, to still leave arbitrage opportunities to the market, but also make sure to people that they trust that USH is pegged super close to $1. So of course you have people in the team that are monitoring every data point of USH to make sure that, especially in those first days, we are very, very responsive.
Okay. Very cool. Is there anything I wanted to talk to you? I don't think so. No, I think we're good. If you guys have any question, feel free to ask them, and if we don't, we can close this show. Thank you, everybody, for watching it. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned things. Thank you to our sponsors, Hatem and E8. And yeah, see you next Wednesday for a new GM Web3 MultiversX. Davey, it was a pleasure to have you, even a few minutes. Philippe, all the best. And Arno, like always, take care of yourself. And kisses to your madame.
We will. Take care, guys. It was nice